not the kind of thing you'd expect kids to scramble for. Cyber pets, or as they're known in Japanese, Tamagotchi.
The Tamagotchi.
The Tamagotchi is an egg-shaped computer game in cute colored plastic.
Remember when your biggest worry was keeping this little egg alive? Well, Tamagotchi's back, and somehow it's got grown adults completely hooked again. Like tax-paying, car-insured, has a favorite lotion brand adults. Back in the 90s, these pocket-sized digital divas were a full-blown phenomenon. You weren't just feeding a pet, you were setting your alarm to clean virtual poop at 7 a.m. It was cute until it died. Then you cried, reset it, and did it all over again. Because love. Kids were glued to their Tamagotchis. The beeping drove parents crazy, and eventually schools had to step in and ban them. But that didn't stop the obsession. But hey, empathy, loss, and emotional attachment, all in a $15 keychain. Fast forward to now, and suddenly everyone's treating Tamagotchis like emotional support gadgets. They're back in stores, blowing up on TikTok, and yes, they now come with Wi-Fi and a passport to the Tamiverse. Because what's better than parenting a demanding, needy, pixelated blob? Parenting it online with strangers. And now, there are collabs with Hello Kitty, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, basically every brand you cried over as a kid. But seriously, why is this happening now? Why is a digital egg from 1996 the hottest accessory of 2025? Turns out this isn't just about nostalgia. It's about emotion, escapism, and a genius move by Bandai that taps into everything from social media trends to the weird state of the global economy. To understand how this all started, we need to look back at where the idea actually came from. In the crowded cities of Japan during the mid-90s, owning a real pet wasn't exactly easy. Strict apartment rules meant a lot of kids grew up without furry companions. So one woman at Bandai had a simple but clever idea. What if you could carry a pet in your pocket? No mess, no barking, no vet bills, just a tiny creature living on a screen. She called it Tamagotchi, and it didn't take long before the world fell in love with it. The idea came from Aki Maita, a marketing employee at Bandai. But an idea is just a ghost. It needed a body. So she found an inventor, Akihiro Yokoi. He took her idea and made it real. He designed the famous egg-shaped shell. Tamagotchi combined the words tamago, meaning egg, and iwachi, take on watch, which yes explains the egg shape and why it felt like you were parenting something on a wristwatch. The concept was simple. Feed it, clean it, love it, or else it'd get sick, poop everywhere, and possibly die. And somehow we loved that. By 1997, Tamagotchi had exploded. Every kid wanted one, needed one, had to trade for one. If you didn't have a Tamagotchi, you probably had a Gigapet, or you were lying about having either. These weren't just toys, they were social currency on the playground. Forget math class, we were whispering about how to get our Tamagotchis to evolve, or panicking because one beeped in the middle of a spelling test. Bandai couldn't keep them on shelves. In fact, demand got so wild, they had to tell employees not to carry bags with the Bandai logo, just to avoid being robbed. Tamagotchis became an instant icon because they were interactive, portable, and weirdly emotional. You were a parent, a hero, a janitor, a therapist, but like all great 90s fads, it eventually burned out. Bandai started overproducing. Stores were flooded, the novelty wore off. Some kids got tired of the pressure, others just forgot to feed them. The result, heartbreak, screaming skulls, digital death, and let's not forget, schools started banning them. Turns out, a beeping virtual pet isn't exactly teacher-approved. Soon enough, Tamagotchi became yesterday's news. Because while we were busy cleaning up pixel poop, Game Boys got better, consoles were cooler, and eventually smartphones came along with apps, real-time games, and way less guilt when you close them. The Tamagotchi was officially replaced. For a while, it felt like it was gone for good. Just another nostalgic blip in toy history. But that little egg had one thing going for it. It's stuck with us, and now, after all these years, it's hatching again. So what changed, and why now? Well, Tamagotchi quietly got a major upgrade, because this isn't just the same little egg you use to accidentally let die in your backpack. Take the Tamagotchi Smart. It kinda looks like a Fitbit, but instead of counting calories, it wants snacks and attention. You can tap the screen, track your steps, and even use it to buy new items for your pet using built-in tech. Then there's the Tamagotchi Uni. This one connects to Wi-Fi and lets your pet explore something called the Tamiverse. Basically, your Tamagotchi can now hang out with other pets around the world. It's like your digital blob has a social life. They've even made a game for the Nintendo Switch called Tamagotchi Plaza. It's not just feeding and cleaning anymore, and you actually go on cozy little adventures with your pet and even play mini-games online with friends. Think Animal Crossing, but your best friend is a hungry cartoon egg, and there are a lot of different versions now, like over 36 kinds. Some can get jobs, some have different personalities, skills, and a few even pass down traits to their kids, like tiny pixelated family trees. And if you're busy, no problem. Some models let you drop your Tama off at daycare while you live your life. Oh, and the designs? Way cooler now. They've got collabs with Pokemon, Hello Kitty, even JJK if you're feeling dramatic. Most of them come in limited drops, which means people are collecting them like sneakers. But for your keychain. Some wear them as accessories, others just like posting them on TikTok. And it's working. Sales doubled from 2022 to 2023, and Bandai even opened their first Tamagotchi store in the UK. So yeah, this isn't just a random comeback. Tamagotchi grew up just like we did. But here's the part that's really interesting. People aren't just buying them for fun. There's something kind of comforting about taking care of this little digital buddy. So why does feeding a tiny screen pet still feel so good in 2025? A big part of it comes down to something called kidult culture. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous, but it's real. Basically, adults are now driving toy sales more than actual kids. And it's not just Tamagotchi, it's Lego, Pokemon cards, plushies, you name it. People are buying the stuff they loved as kids. And honestly, who can blame them? After the pandemic, a lot of us started looking for comfort wherever we could find it. And for some people, that meant therapy. For others, it meant feeding a digital blob named Mochi who beeps when it's sad. Tamagotchis bring back a feeling of simplicity. No likes, no comments. Just a tiny pet that wants snacks and hugs. And that's kind of refreshing when everything else in your life has a password and a two-step login. It also fits perfectly into how our brains are wired now. Short bursts of attention, little notifications, quick rewards. You check your Tamagotchi, it's happy. You feel mildly accomplished. No ads, no doom scrolling, just a little thanks for the snack dance. It's low-stakes care in a high-stress world. And for some people, it's even become a kind of mental health ritual. Something small and positive to focus on when everything else feels a little too much. A few minutes a day, and you've got something growing, changing, evolving, without the mess of a real pet or the emotional drain of your inbox. And yeah, they're great content too. People love posting updates, showing off their Tamagotchi shells, or just using them as cute accessories. TikTok has full-on Tamagotchi diaries now. So it's not just a nostalgia trip, it's part of this bigger shift in how we use technology for comfort instead of chaos. And in a world full of noise, that little beep feels surprisingly human. And believe it or not, Tamagotchi has turned into a bit of a moneymaker. Yup, that little digital pet you used to drop in the toilet by accident? People are buying and reselling it for hundreds of dollars. Bandai, the company behind Tamagotchi, has been very smart about keeping the hype alive. Instead of flooding shelves with the same thing, they've been dropping limited editions, special collabs, and Japan-only versions, kind of like sneaker drops, but for egg-shaped toys. Some Tamagotchis were only sold for a short time. Others were only available in Japan. And collectors? They're all over it. A quick search on eBay shows original Tamagotchis from the 90s going for $150 to $300, sometimes even more if it's still in the box. So yeah, your childhood toy is now someone else's payday. Some people buy them just to collect the cool shells. Star Wars, R2-D2, Harry Potter, vintage designs, you name it. And because Bandai keeps the drops small and random, there's always a little FOMO going on. It's like, do I need a glittery pink Tama with bunny ears? No. But also, yes. That mix of nostalgia, rarity, and I'll just get one more has turned Tamagotchi into a tiny collectible market. Bandai's not just selling toys anymore, they're selling memories. And as it turns out, memories are kind of expensive now. Maybe Tamagotchi was never really about raising a perfect digital pet. Maybe it was about chasing that simpler time, when a beeping egg was your biggest problem. Drop your Tamagotchi stories in the comments. And if you love seeing why these old toys never really die, hit subscribe.